I go for a run every morning, and there's a bunch of different places that I stop. Sometimes I'll see things that inspire me. You see kind of the effects of a force acting on another thing. And water is such a wonderful, pliable material. The surface of water is such an expressive thing that it kind of reveals all the things that are acting on it. My artworks seek to make something like that visible.
Wind, water, gravity. These are the media of choice for Ned Kahn, an artist who has been fascinated by the patterns of nature all his life.
It doesn't even feel like water. It feels thicker than water. I mean, you're feeling the vibration, and it creates a kind of an illusion of viscosity or pressure. It feels like jello. So yeah, the more you spin it, the more the water kind of the force is thrown onto the sides, and then I don't know, I just love the way it kind of looks like glass or something.
Ned Kahn first began experimenting with natural forces at the Exploratorium in San Francisco, where he designed and built some of the museum's most popular exhibits.
Ned worked here at the Exploratorium for a number of years early in his career. He developed what we call science exhibits. Some people could refer to them as artworks. It's all kind of, he works in the fuzzy area in between. It's a very natural place for him to begin because we're a museum about phenomena.
See how high you can make it go.
Ned's tornado exhibit is a perennial favorite here, allowing visitors to explore both the physical properties and the aesthetic beauty of this powerful but ephemeral natural phenomenon.
Both the artist and the scientist find ways to represent the meaning, and the scientist may represent the meaning by a theory, and the artist may represent it, in fact often does, by making something. Ned functions brilliantly in both worlds. It is not really a surprise that after having begun here, he would want to go to the challenge of going outside that door.
Ned took what he learned at the Exploratorium to new heights at the Expo 2000 in Germany, where he was commissioned to create a tornado 8 stories tall. It cost $10 million and required enough electricity to fuel a 200-horsepower turbine engine.
I got involved in a couple of public art projects. I was kind of forced to think on a larger scale, but it definitely the same things that I was interested in working at the Exploratorium, those early works. I just kind of took that same line of reasoning, kind of making the invisible visible, and tried to extend it into an architectural scale.
Ned now has a steady stream of new projects, many of them commissioned for museums and corporations. Because of the large scale of his recent work, Ned now relies on a team of machinists for fabrication. His latest work requires thousands and thousands of identical metal squares. Hung on a massive grid, these tiny pieces act as highly responsive detectors that reveal the invisible rhythms of wind.
I think we need to move the bottom plate.
Bottom plate over this way.
Quarter of an inch.
Right. Okay.
While many of Ned's recent commissions function as detectors, others, like this project for the Chevron Texaco headquarters in San Ramon, simulate the forces of nature. In this case, using the movement of pressurized air through tiny grains of glass to evoke a vast geological landscape.
Most geological processes are incredibly slow, so kind of taking these really slow, really huge phenomena and shrinking them in size and speeding them up in time, allowing you to essentially see the process and see kind of kinetically how it works. So it's in a way kind of an experiment, kind of something showing how even with the same initial conditions and the same forces, nature creates variety and different flow patterns.
Ned specializes in what many architects and engineers would consider problem spaces, wind-whipped facades or drafty and cavernous interiors, where he translates architectural liabilities into artistic gold. Here in the BART station at San Francisco International Airport, he was called in to embellish an expanse of concrete that surrounds the main escalators.
There's actually incredible wind in here, despite the architect's efforts to minimize it. Wind comes in from the open end of the station, where the same place where the trains come in. So it comes in on two levels, and so often they're meeting here.
After experimenting with different sizes and types of metal pieces, Ned settled on these 1-inch discs, nearly 200,000 of them, each one attached to a 175-foot-long grid that completely surrounds travelers as they come and go.
Have you noticed the air coming out of your
Yeah, I know. It's
air
nice,
gun?
huh?
Yeah, that's nice. The piece here at the BART station are thin stainless steel discs that are much smaller, and they can pivot in all directions. And so the smaller size allows them to have greater resolution of what the air currents are doing. And since they can pivot in all directions, it's a much more fluid movement. And it works much better on a small architectural scale like this station. Every once in a while I'll be in some natural place like at the ocean or a river, and it'll hit me how amazing and beautiful nature is. And so I just kind of want to create things that kind of let people have an experience like that and kind of get reconnected with the natural world that we're embedded in.